to another episode of Gamehater, the show where we play games that maybe we shouldn't have bought and reinforce our feelings that we should not have bought them. Today is God of War 3. Oh, hang on, I've got sound. That's bad.
Oh no, we can't have sounds, otherwise people might hear it repeated.
Yes. Okay. I apologize. I did not mute my stream. So, as you likely deduced, Aaron is here too, as usual.
Hello, this is Aaron.
So, have you played any of the God of War games?
I have in fact not played any of them,
Okay.
but I am somewhat familiar with them.
Yeah. So, this game does nothing to catch you up. Oh, by the way, this is going to be an unusual episode in that I started this game. I thought, hey, there's a lot in the first half hour to criticize. I should do a game hater. So this will be more of a guided tour of hate on my side, and I'm sure Aaron will.
I'll be experiencing this hatred for the first time, so you'll still get some fresh hatred going on here.
So there's kind of a recap, but it's not a very good one. I guess the important thing to know is that gray dude is Kratos. He got on the wrong side of Ares, the Greek god of war, and decided to kill him, thus becoming the new god of war, because that's a thing in Greek mythology.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty reasonable response.
Yeah. So he's got to sit through whoever's talking. And I guess the second game ended on a huge cliffhanger where Kratos unleashed the Titans and is starting an assault on Mount Olympus.
Can I just say, I think video games are a terrible medium for having cliffhangers.
I would concur with that.
I mean, it's one thing with a TV show, great TV shows, movies, not as great, but video games, I mean, these are $60 a pop.
Yeah, they should give us something. I mean, you can make a series with self-contained stories that build on each other, but cliffhangers are just a little too much of an admission that you ran out of development time.
Right. Or that you're just really desperate to make people buy your next game.
Right, yeah, too. So we got some Titans climbing Mount Olympus.
Yep.
Cool with that. I want to point out that this is going to be a running criticism. Look how gray everything is. The Titans are gray. The mountain is gray.
I mean, that is sort of the normal state of mountains, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, give the mountains pass, sure.
But yeah, you got this guy supposed to be really grassy looking, and even he's gray.
He's super gray. And I also want to point out how horrible the god designs are. I actually had to look up who these chumps are. So you've got Poseidon on the right.
Okay.
There's Apollo. Apollo's not bad. Zeus looks pretty Zeusy. But this is friggin' Hades. They completely missed the point of Hades. I'm guessing this is Helios.
I mean, let's say you have Hades actually hanging out there instead of down in hell doing nothing.
Right, but they didn't have to make him a spike fire monster either.
Yeah.
Hades wasn't that bad a dude. He was just kind of creepy and no one liked him.
I mean, it's rare you're going to find anything where they actually depict Hades in the actual role he played in Greek mythology.
No, certainly not. They get too hung up on the
Satan parallel.
Satan analog, yeah. And I love how this intro, they managed to tell you nothing except that there's some Titans are doing stuff, and oh hey, here's Kratos. He's the star of the game. We'll need to talk about him.
I thought Hercules was Zeus' son.
He gets around, man.
That's true.
That's like the one perversion of Greek mythology I'm not going to complain about is
Another son.
Yeah. So the combat is, it's good.
I think it is sort of
button
interesting
mashy
that we're
kind of
actually
stuff.
having this fight on top of a Titan.
Right. And this gets back to my gray complaint. I'm gray, the ground is gray, the background is gray, the enemies are gray. I'm just kind of mashing buttons and hoping for the best.
I mean, a game about Greek mythology could be so much brighter. I mean, I'm not saying it has to look like Kid Icarus or anything, but there's a balance there.
There is. And one bit of Greek trivia is, I guess paint residue analysis or whatever has shown that a lot of the statues that the Greeks left around, they're only marble because the paint wore off. And they would have been really brightly colored, gaudy.
Which, you know, that makes sense. I mean, you have like these idols. I mean, you're gonna go make them look as good as you can. You're not gonna make them gray.
Yeah, totally. And also kind of interesting, this version of Poseidon looks a lot like Aqualad from Young Justice.
And also what the new Aquaman is gonna be when he comes out.
Yeah. So someone else had the same idea. So yeah, you know, Poseidon jumped off the cliff and he bonded with the water. It's cool. The water's gray, by the way, because that's the color this game is.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mount Olympus. I mean, they can't afford to get colors up there.
No, the Greek guy. I'm sure there's a Titan of color that they locked somewhere.
Something has me. I cannot move, Kratos. Free me.
Wait, are you helping her?
I think she's helping me, actually.
Oh, so we're actually trying to attack Mount Olympus then.
Yeah, we want to murder all the gods.
Naturally.
It was kind of an interesting choice with the weapon he gets. They're like whip swords, which means you don't really have to worry about aiming. Everything is an AoE attack.
Yeah.
Keeps the combat.
So this is like your basic kind of hack and slash kind of game then?
Yeah, there's a menu somewhere with combos, but I haven't found too many compelling reasons to pick them up. They like their QTEs.
Well, I mean, these are basically just loading screens.
You gotta be right about that.
Well, I mean, like, it's a really interesting part of, like, the development of Uncharted that the reason why you run into so many of those is because they're basically loading screens in design, in disguise.
That's not a bad way to use them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can... Excuse me.
It's a lot better than the game just, you know, stopping.
Yeah, for sure. And now we have the classic trope of Greek mythology, which is the water horse spider monster.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much shows up in everything.
Right. If they would be remiss not to have the water horse spider monster.
Yeah. It does look pretty crazy looking.
It does, and you know, my frustration with this guy is it's not really clear which part of him I should be hitting. But I've got whip sword, so who cares? I just swing him around and good stuff happens.
Oh no, she's sad. She's getting hurt.
So now we have to fight the upside down water spider.
It's like, would it kill this lady to just turn her hand over? Like, come on. Here we are, we're
Right.
trying to get off this horse spider thing. And she's like, no, I gotta wave my hand upside down.
That's a lot of effort when you're being assaulted by a spider water horse. And one thing I also don't appreciate is how everything is like constantly shaking and you got the water spraying everywhere. It's just so unclear what's going on. It's hard.
Yeah,
to
like it's hard to follow this
focus.
battle. Like this would look really cool in a movie, but in a video game, it's a little bit distracting.
Right. It really is. I mean, it's hard to keep track of where you are, what your target is.
And I mean, like, is any of this even hurting you?
There doesn't seem to be any knockback.
Because I mean, as far as I can tell from your bar up there, nothing has really changed.
No.
Even though it looks like this thing is struggling and shooting lasers everywhere.
Right, but yeah, it doesn't really seem to affect me.
Oh, you've lost like a tiny sliver off your health bar
Oh,
there.
there you go. So you got a good hit in that time. I do have a block button and a fast dodge button.
Right. I mean, this thing just has terrible, terrible aim.
It does. Yeah, I mean, his eyes are water. He's probably got spider eyes.
Don't forget to use that giant flipping O
Yep.
thing. You
Gotta go press O.
Oh, so just a timed action event then.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna have like a mission like this where you're gonna be on top of a monster while another monster is attacking it, you would think that you'd have not just your health bar, but also like the giant titan's health bar too to consider.
Yeah, that would be a good way of adding time pressure to try to play efficiency.
Right.
We don't have a health bar for the enemy either.
Okay, you're on a Mount Olympus now.
Yeah. Which is a nice shade of gray.
Yeah.
Much like the vines.
Is this really the most efficient way of climbing?
He's kind of doing the Wolverine climb with his swords.
Yeah, but he didn't even have to. Like, this is covered with there's like all these roots and stuff like that. I mean, like,
Right.
this is like the slowest possible way he could be doing that.
And he can only climb on the vines too. That's the best part.
Yeah. And I mean, here's like when he finally gets up there to grab the ledge, he actually puts his swords away, so he actually has a place to put them. So it's not a matter of just not having somewhere he can put them.
Right. He just climbs by stabbing.
I'd be like worried, like do that, like oh crap, I destroyed all the roots and bramble that I could be clinging onto.
That would be hilarious if he just fell off the cliff because he tore up the handles.
You know, it's gotta be really hard to climb when you got this giant titan swinging around.
And another thing I want to comment on. So we do this ledge crawl. It's a classic example of an over tutorial.
Yep.
Where the tutorial was like, hey, use the left stick to climb across this ledge. Like, what other button would I try to press to go off a ledge? I'll use my move button like I use for every other kind of move.
I mean, you never know. You could be exceptionally stupid.
I could be. Or the developers could be like, whoa, ledge, that's a totally different function from walking.
Yeah.
You should have to like hold X to make sure you stay on the ledge.
Or even better, you gotta use your waggle controls.
Yeah. Gotta have some waggle.
I'm so glad those days are behind us.
Yes, me too. But now we've got VR to, I guess, give plausible deniability for when you murder your friends.
Right. Like,
Oh,
I didn't know they were there. I was had a helmet on my head.
Right. I mean, yes, he walked into the pool, but he was playing a VR game. I couldn't have stopped him.
Yeah. That poor guy is just crawling like towards you, like he's gonna still keep attacking you.
Well, the most satisfying thing you can ever do is finish off a zombie who's doesn't even have his legs.
That's kind of a
That's-
disappointing chest. Like you open it, you know, you can get something cool. It's just like, oh, a bunch of glowing bits that you don't know what it does.
Glowy bits. The chain of balance, its unrivaled strength, secures the bond between Olympus and I Read Too Slow. And
The underworld. Yep.
I'm not sure if that's a real thing. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, this is Mount Olympus, so it better be authentic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they've already taken enough liberties with Greek mythology here. The least they could do is have an accurate chain of balance.
Right.
All right, so
So
there's
you put
some.
the grappling, there's a grappling hook thing. If you can press like R1, I think.
Yeah, maybe I have to be up on the sledge. There we go. It'll auto scroll into view to let me know it's there
Right.
when I can get it. Oh no,
You didn't use your double jump.
I got a double jump. Swinging is not enough. I like the list of instructions too.
You know, like I like the double jump feature in most games just because it's useful, but in a game that is trying to have such a realistic look, double jump is kind of funny.
Oh, but he gets like raven wings when he double jumps. I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
It's totally kosher.
I mean, we wouldn't just have him like randomly just jumping again midair. That'd be silly.
No. Was this some kind of video game?
I mean, no, it's more like a movie.
A very bland movie. There we go.
Yeah, but that wasn't the double jump.
Yeah, you have to hold after the double jump. That's a fair point. So yes, he can jump without his raven wings.
And again, like he had his swords out to climb through the bramble, but then like the mid jump, he puts his swords back
them away.
into his shoulder.
Because that's not going to throw off your momentum.
Yeah.
Poor Fire Titan. You will
Yeah.
be missed.
He tried.
And he's using his swords to stab upward on that ledge.
Yeah,
too.
I know. It's like it's the most stupid animation they could have chose for that.
Right, and you can tell the whole goal is to make him look badass, but they did not think it through.
Oh, ouch. Why didn't you help her?
Eh,
Why are you such a terrible friend?
it's just the water horse spider, not even a threat.
I know, she shouldn't be having this much trouble with it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, she's like, hey, help me, but I can't even hit him here.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you're this tiny little dude, and she's this huge titan. Why is she wanting your help?
Yeah, she doesn't need me. I mean, she's freaking Gaia, the mother of all creation.
Yeah. And she's having a little trouble with a spider horse?
Right, and it's like, oh, hey,
I mean,
Kratos, you're
what
a
could
dude.
he even do? He can only do anything that a spider horse can do.
Well, he is a water spider horse. Let's not discount the water part.
Okay, yeah. That is
Why is my
important.
double jump not working? Am I must be jumping before I'm off the ledge.
Is there grapple to grab there?
Oh, that could be it. Okay, I've completely lost control.
Oh, he wants you to glide. He wants you to do an Icarus glide.
Yeah. Do I just hold?
Pit does not appreciate that, though.
This should not be giving me so much trouble. So I jump. Come on. I double jump and then I glide. There we go.
Yeah.
It takes so long to open these chests too.
Yeah,
are
and
they
for something it
loading
doesn't even feel like
dragons?
even that rewarding, because like it's just
Right.
bits.
I mean, yeah, like there's no new weapons or armor or anything. It's just arbitrary collectibles. So now we have a shiny gray floor in a gray building.
Right. Well, it's slightly more colorful now. There's yellow.
It's a little brownish.
A centaur.
And also, the most obtuse QuickTime event now is rotating the controller in a particular direction.
Right.
And see, I'm blowing it pretty bad. Alright, come on, Centaur. I've had enough of your crap.
I can't believe we're having a harder time with this centaur than that spider water horse thing.
Right. I don't think the Centaurs were even on that good terms with the gods of Olympus either. I
Yeah,
remember
but I mean, like, maybe
Hercules
they
said-
didn't have anything to do with the Titans.
Yeah, maybe.
He seems like an extra big centaur too. Like he seems like more like half horse, half man, half giant.
He's a very large man. That's a really good point. Alright, so I can quick time him to death. Come on, Centaur.
You know, the centaur
Oh.
would do so much better
Oh.
if he didn't have this giant flashing O above his head, letting people know how to kill him.
Well, I'm sure he thinks it's intimidating, like the Eye of Sauron.
Right.
But again, I mean, the QuickTime events are something I never particularly care for in games. They look cool and flashy, but you're not really playing anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like when they first started happening in video games, like it was like, oh wow, this is really really cool. But then it just sort of became this thing that always happened. They got more and more complex, and like more and more taking the gameplay away from you.
Right, right. I mean, I think they started as something they could do to have mechanics that would only get used once, or they couldn't fully program and
Right.
let you feel empowered for a minute. But it always felt hollow then. So here we have the body of Ares, by the way, who got really big in death.
Especially since you have like games like the Batman Arkham games where it has such smooth combat that you really don't necessarily need to have any kind of special finishing moves like that to
Right.
have something cool happening, because he just has so many different options you can use.
Yeah, they'll give you some badass combos that are really satisfying to use to finish people off, and you feel really 100% involved in everything that happens on screen.
Right.
It's much more satisfying. And the combat in that game is almost more of a rhythm game than anything else.
It really is, yeah.
Hurry, Spartan.
Could you not just reach your hand in there and help me with that?
Yeah, come on, she is. Well, I mean, she is having problems with the water horse spider.
Yeah.
So I climbed the limb by stabbing it. And this guy he just will not go away.
No, I do kind of feel bad for her. I mean, like, here she is, she's helping out, and she get like a tentacle stabbed through her mouth.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So haven't talked much about the combo system.
Okay.
It's the usual weak attack, strong attack, different combinations make different combos. I think there's stuff to unlock, it looked like when I poked through menus earlier. I
Right.
won't do it now. So, nothing super out of the ordinary for an action brawler. Not bad by any means. If that's what you're into. And I imagine if you go on the harder difficulties, it gets more something you do. pay attention to rather than just button mashing like I am.
If there's anything to pay attention to, like, I mean, it's so hard to figure out how this battle is going.
Well, there is that. It's so hard to parse everything on screen. And that is my number one criticism of this game. Is that I don't have a good handle on what's going on anytime.
I mean, it sacrifices gameplay for visuals.
Right. And the visuals just that they're interfering with the gameplay. That's the worst part. Like, you're on the Titan and she's all shaky and everything's gray.
Right.
Just what the hell's going on? I'm just gonna spam some combos and hope it works out.
Well, then, like, even Kratos, he didn't even like stand out that much against the background.
No,
Like, if you're gonna have your character be gray, then maybe don't make the world gray too.
Right, yeah, have to be a different color.
Give him some, like, you know, some red overalls or something.
Maybe a nice mustache and a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good takeaway, is make your main character a color that you don't use for the rest of the color palette for your entire game.
Yeah.
And maybe as the game goes on, we'll get to some areas that have color. Like, I'm sure we'll go to the underworld at some point to fight Hades, and they'll be all red the whole play.
Yeah.
And that'll be so refreshing.
Gotta go grab that little tiny thing there.
Yep, and we're gonna sword whip it right into his chest.
So, like, that little thing that was glowing there, like, you just knew that was there from a previous playthrough, right?
Yeah. There was a quick cutscene pointing it out, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, it wasn't that obvious. It's just like the little dot there, like, oh, that's a collectible I can get after the battle.
right.
Does he have root boobs?
You know, I missed that. I turned away.
That's good.
I seem to be climbing the root boobs.
And look, now you're stabbing your sword into her. How rude is that?
Yeah, she's fine. See, it's so zoomed out that I can't even really be sure I'm going the right way.
Oh, you're going inside of her now. That's sort of kinky.
Come inside my body, Kratos.
Yeah.
Let me show you the wonders of the cosmos. I love the ceiling stab. I can't get over that.
Yeah, I know. Like, this is like the least efficient way of doing it. Like, you should just be sliding right out of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Hold R1. And R1 for some reason is the generic action button, which I can't think of any other game that does that.
So what is this? Is this her heart?
It is indeed her heart, if I can get there.
And Kratos didn't make it.
I'm not doing so well with the
That's our first death there.
first death. Pretty awesome place to die.
And then she's like, Kratos, are you in there? Kratos! Hello?
Send some antibodies to pull him back out.
Yeah. That is so weird, having a heart made out of roots and bark and wood.
Really, this whole sequence really says Earth Goddess.
Yeah, it does. I mean, exactly what I think of when I think of Earth Goddess.
Yeah, just like a wooden heart surrounded by gray pillars of stone. So this actually tripped me up in my first playthrough. So I'm like, okay, I can grab this column, but where should I put it?
Yep.
And the answer is, of course, this little gray corner of the world.
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, there's nothing that I've seen so far that said, hey, you need to move things around in here.
Right. I have to complete the gray vines to climb over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But, like, everything's so gray that you wouldn't know that, like, oh, there's something I need to climb here.
Right, exactly. Just the color palette is just so detrimental.
Yeah. Like,
And-
another game where you have to climb a lot is, like, Uncharted. It always makes it fairly obvious. Not always, but usually fairly
Right.
obvious where you need to climb. Sometimes a
much
little bit distractingly so, but it's a game, so it knows it's a game.
Yeah. At some points, it does go, I think, overboard broadcasting things you can interact with. But like you say, it's a game, and they want you to get through the game.
Yeah.
And it's not like realism is the concern for this one.
Right. Again, you're playing as this, you know, angry god guy.
Right. Who, by the way, I will repeat, was not in the mythology.
Yeah. Well, you know, neither was Pitt, so...
Yeah.
It's a
I feel
shame
like
we'll never get a solid, Kid Icarus God of War crossover.
that it is sad. Kid Icarus, I feel like being a parody of Greek mythology, they kind of get away with more.
Right? With their
But
3
this-
games.
Right. But this is such a just like a grimdark approach that
Yeah.
doesn't seem to know about or respect the mythology beyond a couple of Wikipedia articles.
Yeah, it's like pretty much like a high school level of mythology.
Right.
And honestly, if I was gonna have a grimdark version of mythology with this shirtless guy running around killing everything, I'd be using Norse mythology.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I'd be making a game where you're playing as Thor.
Right. Yeah. Why the hell not? You get some dark stuff in like Slavic and Middle Eastern mythologies too.
Yeah.
Greek tends to be a lot of wacky adventures.
This would be like a really beautiful
Sexual
scene right now
misconduct.
if it had more color.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the color. Yeah, Greek mythology has its dark aspects. It's mostly you piss off the gods, you get turned into some kind of evil monster. But
Oh,
is
so
not
this is him
Poseidon.
the entire time.
True warrior does not hide, Poseidon. Leave the sea and face me.
You have disrespected the gods for the last time, Kratos.
You're like, nobody hides with her true warrior. Like, well, you're hiding behind a giant earth goddess, so
it's true. He was literally just inside the giant earth goddess.
yeah. I
So-
mean, maybe, not do that kind of stuff when you're busy attacking Mount Olympus and such.
It really is a double standard. Also, I never got a handle on how I'm supposed to be dodging his attacks here.
Yeah.
They seem to just come out of nowhere, especially that stabby stab. And for some reason, Poseidon has lightning powers.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Right. I mean, it's not like he'd be using water-based attacks. That'd be too out of the nose.
Yeah, there's nothing
Anyway.
that really watery about this except for the fact that his horses have water all over them. And seem very upset about the fact they're covered in water.
Yeah, they do seem to writhe a lot, don't they?
Like, oh my god, why do we exist? Who thought this was a good idea?
Poseidon, what made you think of this?
I have such a hard time buying this that you are in any way helpful to this giant earth
Oh,
beast thing.
I'm like drawing aggro now and then.
Like, she can do more damage just by squeezing this guy than what your little tiny sword can do.
Right. I mean, the Greek gods and the Titans had a legit war that took the Greek gods quite a bit of effort to win.
And I mean, if you're a
So-
god too, why are you so tiny?
I don't have an explanation for that. He must not. I mean, he must be a low-level god, but I mean, he usurped the god of war,
Yeah, I know. So I mean, he's got to have something going for him.
and Ares had a huge corpse.
You would think after being Ares, he decided, oh, I'm gonna be a little bigger now, so I can, be on equal standing with these other gods. Especially if I'm planning on, taking over their home.
Right, but instead he has to use the Titan elevator just to go
Yeah.
through a visit.
It's little wonder that he's never gonna bite anything cool, because he just doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he's clearly a big downer. I doubt he would get any invites, even if he wasn't trying to kill them all.
That's true.
He's just all like, "Rah, revenge! I blame you for everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did something. I don't want to talk about it." And that just goes on so long. It's like that could be a load screen for the next attack, for all I know.
It could be, yeah. It's kind of a boring battle, actually. I mean, it's visually interesting, but not
Right.
colorful enough still. Go back to that criticism we keep coming back to.
Yeah, it just dominates the whole tone of the game. Oh, jeez. I climbed him a little too slow.
So you had to go back down there again, or? Oh, yep.
Oh,
I'll
yep,
take care of
yep,
that for you.
It's like, no, you fool.
He's like,
Leave
no,
me
you need to
out
be
here.
in this stage of the battle.
If you want to fight me, you gotta climb faster, bro.
Like, okay,
I
we'll
like-
start over. You get me disabled again.
You can climb the wall when I'm nice and stunned like everybody else.
It's like, you can't skip it. That's not the way this works.
Okay, how did he make that shot?
He has a long arm.
I guess.
Oh, you are dead.
Yeah, I was not doing so good on the old defense.
He really likes telegraphing his attack. You know, if he had like a different kind of weapon, you know, it might do a little better here.
Well, he gets tired and he needs to do his lightning stabs for a while.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he does better when he's using his fist.
It's true.
And then again, maybe he is killing you quite well there.
And Gaia here is being a big champ about the whole getting stabbed by an electric.
Yeah, I know. If
Trident.
I was getting like this huge trident stabbed in my hand, I'd be a little bit upset. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna drop this guy.
Right, which goes back to your earlier comment. Like, why does she even need Kratos? She's not getting killed here.
Yeah, it's almost comical the way they want you to have him helping her fight. I mean, this is like, you know, if Dr. Mario. I mean, if Mario's fighting Bowser, and he's like, "Hey, can you help me out, Blue Virus?"
It's almost like the animal friends in 80s action cartoons. Where they go out of their way to make the monkey the most important part of the team.
Right.
When the main character has a shotgun.
Yeah, Kratos is
Oh, man,
Kratos' little animal sidekick.
I'm dead again. Not going my way.
It's not. We're not gonna get far enough to find more things to hate. So are you like using your defense then? Like, were you like,
Not effectively.
no? I guess you just gotta avoid it to do well.
The block is kind of nice, but yeah, I just need to put a little more effort into dodging. I am getting a little greedy with combos too.
Well, you heard him. You're never gonna defeat him.
It's probably true the way things are going. Yeah, I don't want to criticize the combat. You can see I'm kind of sucking, but
Right.
yeah, I'm playing distracted and trying to go quickly, which is clearly not the right answer here.
Right.
And I'm not going to blame the combat for my own failings. I will blame this game's complete inability to visually represent anything.
Right. Like, I mean, from what I can see, I don't think the gameplay is necessarily bad. It's what the gameplay is in that suffers.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Too much style, not enough substance.
And the style is just so bland too. Like, they could have had style, but they chose not to.
Right.
And then just like, hey, look how cool our game looks like.
Well, you know, it just comes down to like the filter they're using. Like, I imagine like if I was to take this and, you know, go color correct it in the program so it looks different, it would look very nice.
Yeah, they could.
But apparently they decided to have the same color tone as Man of Steel.
Man, I watched most of Batman vs Superman today.
Oh, did you? How topical.
Yeah. And that was not good.
Did you watch the theatrical version, or did you watch like that recut version that they
I
released?
believe it was the theatrical version.
Okay. I only ever saw the one that the recut version. I didn't realize I was watching that one, but that one was only slightly okay. Still very bland coloring and everything.
Yeah, bland coloring. Everyone seemed a little bit out of character.
Yeah. Unlike these characters, are acting just the way they would be
Oh yeah.
in a real situation. I
Just
feel really
stab.
bad for Gaia. You're like, look how much it's like her hand's shaking there. Like, I feel really bad for her.
I know, and I'm blowing this fight so bad too. She has to relive it over and over.
Yeah, I know. At this point, if I was her, I'd just be like, I'm gonna drop this dude.
It's like, okay, Kratos, thanks for trying. I'm gonna go find Kronos or
Yeah, I
someone who
know.
has a little more experience fighting the Greek gods. I hear
So
Nathan Drake's-
Gaia is Zeus's mother, isn't she?
That sounds right.
So basically, you're riding around on your grandma.
Yeah.
Taking down your uncle.
Well, Kratos, from what I gather, was a Mormon. was all no, he was a demigod. They mentioned he was Zeus.
So like Hercules then.
Yeah.
Or I guess this is Greek mythology, I should actually be saying Heracles.
Yes, that's correct. Right. So how'd it go? I think it was Kronos.
Oh, you
was
did
the
it.
god-
Climb up there.
Yeah, don't screw it up this time. Yeah, Kronos was the sky god. Gaia was the earth. Yeah, then they had a bunch of Titan babies and god babies.
And like Zeus
That's-
ripped himself out of Kronos'
Yeah.
head or something.
Right, Kronos ate the first batch of gods.
'Cause I mean, like, whenever you're having kids, you're like, oh my god, I'm not ready to be a dad. What am I gonna do with this kid? And you just like throw it in your
Swallow 'em
mouth.
whole.
And like the wife is like, what happened to our babies? And you're just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened to our babies.
Here, have this rock. Snuggle a little bit. But that's not all. We're still going.
Poor lady, she does not deserve this.
She does not. And this is Poseidon's mom, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, why can't they just, talk things out and, figure out
Right.
their differences?
Just call your mother. She just wants to love you.
I mean,
And
yeah,
roll the
maybe
cos-
she didn't approve of the fact that you wanted to date your sister, but I mean,
and
that's
yeah,
just how things go sometimes.
and maybe you let her down by becoming a water god instead of something cooler.
Yeah. It's like there's lots of different cool gods you could have been. You had to choose a water god.
Right. I mean, look at your brother Hades. He's the god of the underworld. There aren't even any people in the sea for you to rule.
Yeah. It's like you managed to pick the one part of the world where there's nobody there.
But Mom, there's fish.
Like, oh yeah, I'm sure it'd be really cool when there's Aquaman.
My son, the god of fish, and you still never call me?
You have all this time to yourself.
You just locked me in the dungeon.
Oh, look at that fuck. Look, he's doing more damage than you are. You're just getting thrown around.
Yeah, all I did was pull her arm and coax her into punching him for me.
Oh, you grabbed the dude. Oh, like he's in this is his true form now.
Yeah, and he's tiny now. So why the hell is Ares so big? That does not make any sense to me.
I guess like the gods can just assume a bigger version if they want to fight.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
sort of like their personal tank thing, whatever, magical tank.
Yeah, I mean, that felt like a big water construct, which I'm cool with.
Yeah. It's like, why can't Kratos get one of those?
Right.
Zeus
Where's
shall
my
have
mech?
you where you belong.
The daycare.
No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
See, I think there's a finite number of gods, so that statement is false.
I don't know, maybe like gods are like Hydra now.
Death of us all.
Yeah, maybe. There's a secret breeding program.
Yeah, it's called Zeus not being able to keep it. Not knowing how to pull out.
He is the god, the ruler of Mount Olympus, the god of thunder. He does not pull out. He brings the thunder.
It's true. Poor Poseidon, like he's just trying to defend his home and Kratos is being a dick about it.
Totally. And this jackass is showing up trying to murder him for no reason.
Why are we playing this from Poseidon's, from Poseidon's point of view?
I don't know.
Why does that make any sense?
It doesn't. And this is just a huge quick time event.
Yeah.
Why bother?
It's like, why even make us press buttons during it? In fact, I almost find it annoying when they want to have like this big thing like this. Because I just kind of like, be able to sit back and, eat my food or my drink, whatever, while the game is showing me a movie.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
like
no,
quick.
we're going to get you involved in it.
Yeah, and if you don't press circle within 3 seconds, we're doing this whole thing over, buddy.
Yeah.
So I think I just gouged his eyes out with my thumbs, not that I was really involved,
Yeah.
and cast him back into the sea.
Well, that means he's going to live now. It's where it's coming from. Oh, that poor boat. So wait, we just wiped out this entire city? For a little
Tremble,
petty
brief
grudge
mortals,
match?
despair, for Kratos has come to Mount Olympus. The seas shall rise and drown your puny civilizations.
Yeah,
As the
Kratos is a
Titans lay
dick.
waste to your gods. Yeah, he's not a good dude. I'm surprised the people wanted to play 3 games of this crap.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. We just caused all this trouble.
Kratos, the death of Zeus is within our reach. Climb to my hand.
Oh yeah, sure thing, Grandma. Yeah, I don't feel good about this at all. I mean, we just doomed all those people. Uh-oh, something is being displayed that I can't see.
Oh, it's a save point menu.
Oh.
Wouldn't want
Heaven forbid I get to see you save the game. I'd get all your secret info.
you know what time it was the last time I saved and my
gotta-
percent completion.
Why does she need a thumbnail if her entire body is made out of... Let's see if she's got boobs.
She does have boobs.
Very awkward.
And she's gonna climb you up the rest of the way. All that. Well, I guess she was being tormented by
Right.
the
Oh,
sun.
here's Zeus.
Hey,
He looked
cool.
pretty calm.
Hey.
He's like, Mom, I did not invite you.
What will you do, father?
Hiding behind Athena, that doesn't sound like Zeus' style at all.
Yeah.
Athena is dead because of the rage that consumed you, Kratos.
Why are we talking about it? If you killed Athena, well, I guess you're
Hands of
supposed to.
death could not defeat you. The sisters of fate could not hold you. And you will not see the end of this day.
And he's got such an exaggerated frowny face at all times.
Yeah.
I will tolerate your insolence no more.
You know, jumping into this without having played any of the previous games, I just don't have any
There's no connection.
interest in this whole conflict that they're having.
Right, right. I guess it started with, like, Ares tricking Kratos into murdering his whole family, Hercules style. But instead of trying to become an awesome hero, Kratos just went on a blood-soaked anti-god revenge quest.
Right.
And,
Oh!
oh, Gaia. All that climbing for nothing.
And Kratos is just getting blown down there too.
Hey, come on, how am I gonna murder Zeus from chasing after Gaia? Blew my opportunity.
Kratos is just not... Why didn't he get his Raven Wings out? He could have saved himself so much time.
Raven wings, he could be stabbing to grab on. This is the first time he's used his hands to climb a wall. He's like, I can't do it. I'm just not capable.
Right.
Is why you saved me from death.
I saved you all to serve the Titan.
Like, you know, if you're going to have a game, I feel like you need to have it so, like, right from the beginning, you have some reason to be involved in it. Because it's not a movie. You can't just, you know, expect the people to play the previous one. That's not how most video games work.
Right, it's not. And especially in this case, so... God of War was a Sony exclusive on PS3.
Right.
And the whole trilogy was on PS3. But they only remastered God of War 3 for the PS4. Meaning, they should not have expected anyone to play it because you didn't even expect them to have the console the other games were on. So, maybe add like an extra cutscene to... Maybe that's what they're trying to do here, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
I remember when Mass Effect came out, it was an Xbox exclusive. But Mass Effect 2 went cross-platform, and they gave like a digital comic book summarizing the story of Mass Effect 1 to catch people up.
I just feel like you need to have your story be self-contained. Like, you can have like a really involved story over several games, like you do like the Uncharted series, but at least you can jump into any one of those games and you know be fine.
That's true.
This one we're jumping into it and like I don't understand why this is happening, and I don't really care. You just have this angry guy who's pretty much unlikable.
Right. He's just here to frown at the gods and stab his friends.
And apparently not be able to swim. What's going on there?
I think he was getting grabbed by corpses, so I'm going to assume this is the River Styx.
Oh, so we're in the underworld then.
Probably. You can tell because this is Underworld Gray, as
Right.
opposed to Mount Olympus Gray. A very different color scheme.
Yeah, like, you know, having the contrast of going from a gray overworld to a gray underworld, it doesn't have as much of a punch.
Right. Yeah, I mean, where's the jets of fire? And, oh, there's some volcano stuff. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big giant statue of Hades. Who, again, where did they come up with a character model?
Right. They should have just, you know, done something cheap and just used the Disney version.
Yeah.
Not finished, Zeus.
So Zeus must have actually killed me.
Never held me.
Well, not permanently, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, Ghost Athena. Again, I'd be more invested in Ghost Athena if
I had any idea what their relationship was to be.
Right.
Like, you were just talking about how Zeus was hiding behind her, but
Right.
so is he on my side or is he on Zeus's side?
It's really hard to tell. It's not okay. So he killed her.
My blade was meant for Zeus.
So she must have been a neutral party or on Zeus's side, but not a direct combatant.
Right, now she's helping me because reasons.
Let them suffer. The death of Zeus is all that matters.
Zeus will not fall as easily as Ares. To destroy the king of the gods, you must seek the source of his strength.
That also does not sound like a real thing from the mythology.
You mean their gods are not just automatically like omnipotent?
And now
Right.
to
Well, yeah, but they're born with powers. They're not depending on some magical fire from the mountain.
Yeah.
I see truths where I did not before.
Oh, she's taking the swords. Come on, Athena.
That's the only way he can climb things.
Right. How's he gonna climb out of the underworld? Alright, is she Metroiding me right now? I think she's Metroiding me.
These are the blades of
Oh, cool.
They will help guide you.
This would feel so much cooler if I had any reason to know what the original weapons were in any way different. Now they're just more
Nope.
glowy.
Yeah, like 10% more glowy.
As long as Zeus reigns, there is
And what's wrong with Zeus? I mean, yeah, he bones a lot. He's a little bit of a dick.
So apparently she was like the Obi-Wan to Kratos in the other games.
I get, yeah, that makes sense because she and Ares had pretty low opinions of each other.
Right.
So if you're on a quest to murder the shit out of Ares, you would naturally team up with Athena.
I guess maybe Kratos just went a little bit out of hand afterward and she got killed
Right.
out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like she was trying to rein him back in or something. She's like, no, I'm the god of war for good reasons and protecting your homeland, and you're turning into Ares too.
Yep.
Can you just open the chest? Why does it need to take half an hour?
You know, I feel like the only way to get a happy ending in this game is to not play it.
Probably.
Like, you know, get to this point here, and then you're just done, because now, like, okay, Kratos is in hell. This is probably
Yeah.
where he belongs. I guess leave him there.
Ooh, I've collected a Gorgonite.
Oh, cool. You can
Yeah,
increase your
that's-
overall health with it.
Of course, that's what the Gorgons were known for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. Is the gods won, Kratos' rampage was stopped. The end.
Yeah, and all those poor innocent humans just had to deal with normal god crap.
Right, and if God of War 2 was just half an hour longer, we could have done exactly that.
Yeah, I guess keep coming back to the fact, like, we're in the middle of another game, and not the beginning of a new game.
Yeah, with nothing to catch us up.
Yeah. It's just not how you do video games. Like, I know this game must probably sell really well because it's a really popular series, but
Right.
it just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, and especially for the remastered version, they could have done more to make it work.
Right.
So that feels like a good stopping point. Kratos has died. Olympus is safe. The gods will live to fight another day.
All right, you want to stop here then?
Yeah, let's stop here.
All right, I'll switch this over to our Gamehater screen.
Very good.
So we said most of what we thought about this game, but I mean, mostly it just comes back to the fact that just it's so gray and it needs a better color palette, and it just sacrifices everything in the name of looking cool. Even, I mean, it has decent gameplay, but you can't really see it sometimes.
Right, yeah, and that's why I keep going back to it. It's just such a misguided attempt at looking cool too. It's not just that they wanted to have flashy graphics and giant monsters and all that. I mean, yeah, of course you want that in a mythology-based game, but you still need to visually parse it and make the player feel like he's really in charge of the combat.
It just really, if you like take all the problems of like the AAA industry, and you just sort of sum it up into like a style, this game just represents all of it.
Yeah, washed out monochrome. The plot is an afterthought, and just a sneery.
Which is
And you're
ironic that
actually
it
the main
considers the
character.
plot to be an afterthought, considering that it's decided that it has to keep continuing the story from the last game instead of having its own.
Right. Yeah, and imagine how disappointed you must have been if you played God of War 2, and you're like, oh, sweet, I've unleashed the Titans, and
You're
now
like,
it's time for my ultimate assault on Olympus. And they're like, game over, bitch.
yeah, no, that would be like really frustrating because it's not like you can just like, okay, well, I gotta wait till next week or even just next year. Usually games have a
Right.
fairly decent time between them. Like, I don't know what the release date for those two were, but I would assume. Well,
I
I'll
don't
look
know
it
what
up.
the gap is. Yeah.
Let's see. So God of War 3. No, God of War 2 is the previous one, right? So
Yeah.
that one came out in 2007, and then God of War 3 came out in 2010. So you had to wait 3 years for
3
your
years.
conclusion.
3 years for Zeus to smack you off a mountaintop like a little bitch.
Right. Like,
Yeah,
everything you'd been working up towards in the previous game is completely undone, just like the little cutscene there.
right. Like that. If I had played God of War 2, I would probably hate this game 5 times as much just for that.
Yeah. It's pretty insulting, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. It's a great microcosm of everything wrong with AAA games of the past decade or so.
Yeah.
But I mean, credit where it's due. The combat was just fine, and it looked like there were. I didn't go into the menus today, but it looked like there were multiple um, combo unlocks, different weapons you can unlock.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it
there
seems like
was
it's a
more depth that I didn't even see.
yeah, it just seems like it's a really solidly built game. It just coated with too much of this graphical stuff that the- too much trying to be like a movie and not actually
Right.
being a game to the point it distracts from being a game.
Really brings it down.
But that's
So
pretty much all I can think to say about it. I mean, so I would probably I give it a thumbs down.
yeah, I will give it a watery tentacle middle finger that's constantly writhing to the point where you can't properly count it.
Do you have one of those? And probably need to go see a doctor about that.
Well, diseases keep piling on, so if I don't have one today, I might tomorrow.
All right, well I guess we're done then.
Yep, this has been another episode of Gamehater. Um, we hate this game, and we're going to bed. Good night.
Good night.